The morning after the marriage agreement, the whole village woke up feeling excited. News travels fast in our village, and before sunrise, everyone already knew that Adunni was going to marry Adegoke. Women talked about it while sweeping their compounds. Men discussed it while preparing for farm work. Some people said it was a strong union between two respected families. But Adunni did not look like someone preparing for marriage. I saw her sitting alone beside her father's compound wall. She was drawing small lines in the sand with her finger. She kept staring at the ground like she was searching for something she had lost. Her mother moved around happily, talking about food, clothes, and wedding plans. Her father looked proud, greeting visitors who came to congratulate him. Later that morning, Adunni joined her mother in the kitchen. They sat beside the fire grinding pepper and preparing soup. Her mother spoke with joy. She talked about how marriage brings honor to a woman. She told Adunni to respect her husband and take care of his family. Adunni nodded many times, but she did not say much. She smiled, but it was the kind of smile that disappears quickly. That same afternoon, I saw Adesola near the stream. He sat on a big rock and kept throwing small stones into the water. Usually, he was a cheerful man who liked joking with people, but that day he looked different. Some young men greeted him, but he barely answered them. He just kept staring at the water like it was speaking to him. As the sun began to set, something happened that many people did not see, but I did. Adunni walked quietly through the narrow footpath behind the palm trees at the edge of the village. She kept looking over her shoulder like she was afraid someone would follow her. Not long after, Adesola came from the opposite direction. When they saw each other, they stopped walking. They stood there for a long time without talking. The air between them felt heavy. It looked like both of them had too many words but did not know where to start. Adesola was the first to speak. He asked her why she accepted the marriage. His voice sounded calm, but his eyes were full of pain. Adunni told him she had no choice. She said her father had already given his word, and she could not shame her family. She spoke slowly, like every word was hurting her. Adesola said he wished things were different. He said he never thought she would become his brother's wife. When Adunni heard that, her eyes filled with tears. She told him she never stopped loving him. The words came out quietly, but they were strong enough to shake both of them. For a moment, they stood closer to each other, but they did not touch. It was like they knew that even one touch could destroy everything. Suddenly, they heard footsteps from another path. Fear quickly entered their faces. They moved apart and walked away without saying goodbye. The next few days, wedding preparations began in full. Women gathered in Adunni's compound almost every afternoon. They brought colorful fabrics, beads, and gifts. Young girls sang marriage songs while helping with chores. Visitors kept arriving to greet the family. Adunni sat in the middle of all the excitement while older women placed beads around her neck and wrists. She thanked them politely, but her eyes always looked tired. One evening, I saw the two brothers together outside their father's house. Adegoke spoke with excitement. He talked about building a bigger house and starting a strong family. He told Adesola he wanted him to stand beside him during the marriage ceremony. Adesola agreed, but his voice sounded weak. Adegoke noticed and asked if something was wrong. Adesola quickly said he was just tired from farm work. Adegoke laughed and told him to rest well because the wedding would be a big celebration. Adesola forced a small smile, but it did not reach his eyes. That night, the village became quiet after a long day of preparation. The moon shone brightly over the compounds. I passed near Adunni's house and saw her sitting outside her room. She slowly removed the wedding beads from her neck and held them tightly in her hands. She looked toward the direction of Adesola's compound, and tears rolled down her face. After some time, her mother called her from inside the house. Adunni quickly wiped her tears and stood up. Before she entered the room, she looked toward the dark path one more time. like she was saying goodbye to something only she could see. A few nights later, I saw something that made my chest feel heavy. Adesola stood alone near the same palm tree pathway where they used to meet. He was looking toward Adunni's compound. At the same time, Adunni stepped out of her doorway, far away. For a brief moment, they both saw each other across the distance. Nobody spoke. Nobody moved closer. After a few seconds, Adunni slowly turned and went back inside her house. Adesola also turned and walked into the darkness of the path.